I just wanted to make a helpful little video, especially for new YouTubers and even for people who are self-employed and they're doing businesses such as like Uber, Lyft, rideshare, whatever it may be, even Grubhub and whatnot. And the name of this video, 16 Amazing Tax Deductions for Independent Contractors. Now, I do not do my taxes myself. I have a CPA. I would never attempt to do my taxes myself because my CPA has shown me that by knowing the law, which is something that tax law is constantly changing, and as you know, with the government constantly meddling in our daily lives for various reasons, everything going from COVID onwards to Jesus Christ, everything. I mean, the government's more involved in our lives than I think most of us are in our own lives. But the point is, these are some tax deductions that you can get when you're filing 1099. So when you're filing 1099 self-employed, there are a number of tax deductions, and I'm just going to go through a couple of them, and I'm going to talk about how I use them for my self improvement and whatnot. So as you can see, just by this chart, common self-employed tax deduction. Now, these are just the common ones, but I'm going to talk about most of them out of the 16 total, and I'm going to leave you this link so that you can look into them. But I'm going to talk about the major ones that I use. And as a YouTuber, on your tax, when you file 1099, it unlocks the ability to use business tax deductions because you're self-employed. Same thing applies even if you're not a YouTuber. You could be a Grubhub employee or Uber or Lyft or whatever it is. So the main pie chart pieces are fees for professional services, vehicle for business, home office, internet or phone, health insurance premiums. So let's just talk about that really quickly. And again, I'm going to leave the link so that you have access to it. As a YouTuber, one of the most important things that you're going to have to buy or focus on buying is a good microphone, a good camera, and all of those things, those parts that you'd buy for your computer are all covered as home office expenses. If you're filing 1099 and using YouTube income, then you definitely have access to business tax deductions for home office supplies. However, what you may not know is that includes other pieces of equipment that you might need for streaming. So that means that video cards, sound equipment, like for instance, if you're a DJ, all of that equipment is part of your home office, especially if you're well, first of all, if you're a DJ, you'd be filing self-employed as a DJ, so you'd be entitled to that equipment anyway. So basically what I'm saying is, in broad terms, all of this computer equipment is covered. So if you're talking about why is it that you look at me and I go to the store and I can spend $4,000 on video game graphics cards, or I can spend $300 on a joystick to play DCS World, or I can spend $500 to $1,000 on a PlayStation 5, and I can just do this. Well, you got to remember, those are tax write-offs. PlayStation 5, Xbox, those things, especially if you're a YouTube gamer streamer, those things are part of home office. Those are computer equipment pieces, and you're showing that you spent the money on them. You're showing that you're using them for your business, and you're showing it up front. You hold on to all of your receipts all year long. That's what I do. And then you bring them to your CPA and you basically hand them over to the government. And the reality is, this is a business. If you are a pro gamer, esports is covered by tax law. So if you're a pro gamer and you're getting on there playing Quake 3 or Counter-Strike or whatever it is, it's covered. If you're a YouTuber and you're, showing your 1099, if you're buying the best mic that you can get, the Yeti, or if you're buying boom mics, or if you're buying multiple mics for your business because you have people coming over so that you could do interviews, All of that's covered. If you're buying desktop speakers, if you're buying room speakers, all of that's covered. If you're buying multiple monitors, if you're buying televisions to hook up to this home office setup, all of that's covered. Now, yes, depending upon where you are, there may be limits on the amount that you can claim. The bottom line is all of this stuff is covered. Hold on to your receipts, claim it all the next time you do your taxes. As many of you already know, educational expenses are a tax deduction. You have to buy books. You have to buy videos, DVDs. You have to buy things related to the classroom, laptops, computers, computer parts, certain clothing that may be required for education. Uniforms, specifically uniforms, are covered. There are tax deductions for your student loans in many cases. There are other tax deductions, of course, related to education you may not have thought of. For example, why am I showing you a picture of me at the gun range firing a fully automatic AR-15 or M16 or M4 or whatever? The point is, even going to a gun range is considered continuing education. You have to have a good CPA, and he can help you write these things off. Car expenses is also really important, but it also leads into depreciation of equipment. Say you're using your car for Uber Black services, or say you're using your car for business mileage or in a business capacity. It would allow you to write off a car that you're using, even if you're using a very expensive car that you normally wouldn't have been able to afford, only now you're getting something back on your taxes for having this car specifically. That could include you guys who are out there buying Tesla Model 3s, Tesla Model Ys, luxury cars for Uber Black service such as Mercedes S-Classes, EQSs. Plug-in hybrid electric vehicles carry many discounts, specifically the Teslas. The government's already written this into the law. Even helicopters and airplanes are included. If you have a good CPA, a lot of these expenses you'd normally incur, you can have written off. The kicks just don't stop coming with these tax write-offs. When I think to myself about my favorite benefit, because I could do without the computer equipment and the toys and whatnot, and even the luxury cars to some extent. But I think my personal favorite is luxury travel. Now, I specifically do not fly first class. Even if I could afford it, I don't want to fly first class. I prefer to get business class tickets. Business class tickets, business class lounges. When you look at my receipts, it specifically says business class. Why? Because there is, in the tax law, there is a difference between business travel and luxury travel. There's a big difference. When you're doing something for business, like for example, when I'm making these videos for YouTube, like I showed you Seychelles, I showed you Dubai, I showed you Bora Bora. Well, I'm going to show you Bora Bora, but the last video I showed you was this one, Maldives. Well, all of this is able to be written off on your taxes, specifically because this is business related. When I'm using my camera equipment and making videos to put on YouTube in order to make money on YouTube and file 1099 as a tax deduction, all of this is business related because YouTube essentially becomes a job. You see, this is why I don't recommend you do your own taxes. When you're a CPA or you have access to a very good CPA, all of these benefits, the business class lounges, the business class showers, the business class breakfasts, all of this stuff is unlocked to you. Things that you normally would have never thought of, things that you probably never even have seen before. Levels of luxury, freaking staircases on planes, things that you never would have expected before. And you've probably never seen before. A lot of y'all don't have passports. A lot of y'all don't travel. A lot of y'all don't do much except for in your backyard. And the reality is, one of the reasons why I love YouTube so much is it opens up your mind to all of these possibilities and going through a wine list, ordering the freshest of French wines and champagnes while at 30,000 feet on a business class Emirates, Etihad, Singapore Airlines, or Asiana Airlines flight. Those are things that normally most people wouldn't even conceive of. Imagine being able to spend $5,000 or possibly $10,000 to fly to the other side of the world, enjoying a cabana or enjoying a beach, and all of it being part of your actual business. Could you imagine that for even 1 second? Could you imagine being able to eat fine foods at 35,000 feet while you're looking down at all the peasants that are thousands of feet below you? Or taking a shower at 30,000 feet on an airplane while looking out the window at all of those people who are struggling as wage slaves? Well, those people don't have the business class deductions because they're just working. Like, some people don't understand. Corporations don't pay taxes. And it took a very smart man to make me understand that. Corporations do not pay tax. Consumers pay tax, shareholders pay tax, and the workers pay the tax. Corporations do not pay tax. Now, I know there's going to be somebody who wants to fight with me. No, corporations don't pay tax. Consumers, workers, and shareholders pay tax. Once you understand that, it helps you change your mind so that you can understand. It's like, wait a minute. I've been going about all of this the wrong way all this time. I've been filing my taxes on time every year. I file my tax. There's a specific time I file my taxes. February 21st. I think that marks the beginning of President's Week. I can't wait to file my taxes. Biden, with his new Green Deal, has hired thousands upon thousands of new IRS agents, and they're training them to shoot to kill. They're arming them, and they're buying up bullets. Who do you think they're coming after? They're not coming after me. Oh, no. I have my receipts. I show my receipts. I'm willing and ready to show my receipts. I can't wait to do my taxes this February. By the time February rolls around, I'm going to have a brand new Cadillac electric car, and I'm going to get tax discounts on it. I can't wait to do my taxes. In fact, if I could do my taxes right now, I want to do my taxes. They didn't hire those IRS agents for me. They hired them to come after you. Now, the only way you're going to beat this system and have enough money left over to actually retire and still be able to use your pension in order to live out your final days while still getting tax benefits on your health care and being able to comfortably survive, the only way you're going to do that is if you get yourself a good CPA. You need a help.